Okay, so just want to kind of show this drill. Well, it's a nail lamp drill combo. The sheets are put on there fairly well, pretty well actually. Aside from a couple of spots, it looks nice. I've used quite a few nail drills, used and reviewed quite a few different nail drills and nail lamps. I've used a lot that had some of this on them here and there. These were applied pretty well. There is a spot right here on mine, and I did mash it down. You can kind of see that it sticks out just slightly right there. It wants to stick out all the time, so I have to push it in there. Maybe eventually it'll stay stuck. I don't know. When this is just sitting here, the edges here tend to fringe out because they're not staying stuck, because they're kind of touching the bottom right there. So I may have to put some glue on those little spots right there, but they want to stick out because they're actually, you know, touching the surface there. It's not a big deal. It's not something I can't fix. It's just that, you know, it sticks out there, and I don't like that. This bottom here is magnetic. It comes off. This blue is just to keep from scratches and stuff. So I left it on there so you can see it, but it's just, you just peel it off. I like the metal bottom. That whenever you're using it, it actually helps the lamp to cure better, because it helps it bounce back off, and your under part gets cured a little better. So, and also when you're using like nail tip stands, or if you're doing them individually, I like that they stick to that. So this one fits nail tip stands, no issue. You can see you've got magnets right here. They're pretty strong. I haven't had issue with it coming off any. It kind of sits in there, so that also helps. It's kind of a tight fit, so I think that kind of helps it also. It's inside that there and sticks inside there, so it's not actually out. I think that helps a little too. But the magnets, they feel pretty strong, pretty you know, strong. You've got your sensors right here on both sides. One on both sides. That's what allows it to know that you've stuck your hand in and out. I don't particularly like that, because, you know, most of the time they'll lose their place, and then you have to start over when you take your hand out. And you also have to keep your hand down on the bottom, because if you lift it up or move your hand around, it thinks that you took it out, and it's going to start over or turn off. This one is rechargeable, so really all you have to have plugged up is your drill if you're using it. If you're not using it, you don't really have to have anything plugged up if you're just using a nail lamp. But this is easy to do. You do have to have it a certain way. I always just remember this. Oh, it says top. I didn't notice that before, but I always paid attention to that little thing. Sorry if you hear my dogs, but anyways, it does go in there a certain way, so it's not going to go in there if you turn it that way, that top. Easy to use. I haven't had any issues when I've used it. I've used it a few times. There's a spot for your drill. I love the way this right here looks. Almost makes it look like it's little diamonds or something. I just like it. Now this one does have a locking chuck. You just kind of, you can see that right there. It has that there to tell you turn it that way to unlock it. This is, I can't remember the name of this stuff. For all intents and purposes, it's a placeholder. You don't want to have this just like that, because you can get dust and dirt down in there over time, and it can get into the motor. So you always want to keep something in there and it locked when you're not using it. That way it's closed. Anyways, this works well. It is fairly quiet. Actually, I'll turn it on here. This is your off and on. I always remember the O is off. This is what you use to plug it up to charge. It came partially charged, so I haven't had to charge it yet. You get a 5-foot cord, but you plug that in there when you need to charge it. Now when you plug this up, this is going to light up red. On. That actually doesn't look, those little flurries and stuff, it's not doing that. There's something about the difference in electronics between this and that. It's not doing any of that. It's not moving or anything. Here's your forward and reverse. This is very sensitive, so you can accidentally touch it, and I accidentally turned that on already, but very easy to turn stuff on or change something if you're just barely touching it. If anything, it's a little bit too sensitive, in my opinion. I've accidentally changed settings or turned something on many times already while I was using it. Forward and reverse, when you turn this on, I'm going to leave it all the way down so this doesn't start yet. But there's your battery, and I've got 3/4 of a battery. It has 4 bars when it's full. Right there's your forward. You've got forward and reverse, clockwise and counterclockwise. Right here's your pause and play. Easy to use. This has a 45,000 RPM. This thing is pretty smooth running. It doesn't have a lot of vibration either. I haven't noticed any drag when I was using it either, so it's a pretty good drill. Very quiet. When you're switching between forward and reverse, I always turn it all the way down, or not off, but all the way down before I switch, because that can be, for like the overall lifespan of your drill, you want to do that, because it can be hard on the motor switching between forward and reverse when it's at a higher RPM. So some manuals will tell you that, some won't. This one's kind of sucky. You just got a leaflet. It's not very much to it. Doesn't really give you a whole lot of info. I don't know what wattage this is. The box, nor the listing, nor this tells you that. I have no idea what the wattage of this nail lamp is. I just know it works well. So it's over a 45 watt. I know that at least. It's probably a little higher than that actually, but it is at least that. So it is a fairly good wattage. Easy to use. This is for the nail drill, it's not for this, so turn this off when you do that. Otherwise you could turn your nail drill on if you have it plugged up. You've got some spots here for your drill bits. This one does come with a medium grit flame bit, torch cylinder. There's several different names, but there's a flame bit, medium grit. You also get a bag of fine grit sanding bands. You get a glove where they're supposed to protect your part of your hand from the UV, where it covers everything except your hands, your fingernails. The nail lamp, like I said, easy to use. You've got a 30, 60, and 90 second. Easy to use. Turn it on, it goes. Push it again, and it stops. You can do this and make it go itself, but I don't like that. Everybody has their preference. It's just not mine. If you lift up, see I lifted up, it thinks you pulled it out. So you do have to keep your hand down against the base. So you're just moving it around. It thinks you've taken it out. That's just my preference. There are some issues with, now, you know, just looking at it, it looks nice. It is nice, but I'm kind of anal with stuff, so I notice everything. There's quite a few scratches on my display. You can see them all in there. The letters and this here are kind of damaged, or something's going on with them. Part of it's not there, so there's that. This pink here, they put a clear coat on top of this, but you can see where the pink part was damaged. It was all scratched up. But they put a clear coat over it, so at least it does feel smooth. It's still there, you know, I can still see it, but they did put a clear coat on that, making it a little less noticeable. Actually, it is more noticeable in real life than it is on my video, but still, it's there. You can kind of see the scratches through the clear coat, but barely. It feels smooth still. Just, you know, a few fish eyes here and there. No big deal. You know, little fish eyes and stuff, little blemishes where fish eyes here and there and this too. You know, I look at all that stuff. So I did take off, you can see fish eyes, and that's actually trash in that clear coat. That's not fish eyes, that's trash that got caught in the clear coat. But anyways, you know, just looking at it like it is nice. I did remove a star, you know, for just the individual things going on, but this is applied nicely. It does look good, and it's nice and sparkly. That spot there, I don't think it's the lamp. Maybe it just wasn't pushing in good. I don't know, but it looks good. I can feel some weirdness right there. I don't know if there's an indentation in that or what. If I press on it a lot, I don't really feel it much, so it's probably just the sheet not pushed down all the way. But yeah, it works nicely. Easy to use, very sensitive, you know. But overall, it's a nice product. Kind of like those little holes there. You can put some drill bits in there when you're using this. I keep mine in another thing, but when you're using it, it's nice to have them. If you're going to be using more than one, you can place them in there. But yeah, it's nice. Got a nice few things that come with it too. Overall, it's good quality.
Elle était sensible, drôle, et d'une force mentale innée.
Les deux sont en fonction. Regardez. Vous pouvez augmenter, baisser.
Votre action relève de la légitime défense.
Ça, c'est top.
Ça ne relève pas vraiment de la légitime défense.
Et interchanger.
Ah oui. Sur les autres femmes.